Hi friends, welcome back to SGK English for a new video. The Lost Spring Part 2. Stories of Stolen Childhood. In Part 1 we saw how the childhood of those children were stolen from them. They don't have a bright childhood. The spring, which is the brightest, most colorful, wonderful period of anyone's life. Yes, the spring is lost, the color is lost, childhood is stolen away from them. And we saw the story of our Sahib-e-Alam, and the name suggests Lord of the Universe, but actually he is a beggar, a rag picker, in a way beggar of the universe. It would be very difficult for him to believe the meaning of his own name, that he is a Lord of the Universe. And we saw the stories of 10,000 rag pickers living in Simapuri at the outskirts of Delhi. Yes, they are migrants from Bangladesh. Okay, page number 15, last paragraph. One winter morning, I see Sahib standing by the fenced gate of the neighborhood club. There was a sports club in the neighborhood. I saw him standing, watching two young men dressed in white playing tennis. He was watching anxiously, with a lot of feelings in his mind. He would also dream to become a player, only dream, even his dream. He may not have that much ambition to become a tennis player. So he was watching anxiously at two boys playing tennis. I like the game. He murmurs that he likes the game. Content to watch, he is contented. He is satisfied. Watching tennis game itself gives him so happy, makes him happy. So he is contented with that. To watch it standing behind the fence. He is so happy to watch the game standing behind the fence. Yes, I go inside when no one is around. I go inside the stadium, playground, when nobody is around. After all, he is a beggar. He is a rag picker. Yes, he admits, the gatekeeper lets me use the swing. Yes, he allows me to enter using the swing of the gate. Sahib too is wearing tennis shoes that look strange over his discolored shirt and shorts. Now, he was wearing, shoes which does not match with his dirty clothes. His shorts and shirt. Because a rag picker may not have a good dress, you can imagine. And he was wearing a pair of shoes. Someone gave them to me, he says. Actually not mine. It was given to me by someone. Yes, in a manner of an explanation, he was explaining how he got a pair of shoes. The fact that they are discarded, disregarded, neglected is thrown out. Say, shoes or some rich boy, you know it now. You won't wear a pair of shoes for more than 1 year or maximum 2. Then you would tell your parents to get a new one. Okay, na? Yes, you will compel them, you will buy a new one. Some of them, before telling, it will be provided. Is it not so? Almost every year you buy a new pair of shoes from the school. Is it not so? Yes, you won't wear it. You will throw it out. Some rag pickers might take it and it is for them. What is it? Who perhaps refused to wear them because of a hole in one of them. A rich boy who refused to wear it because it has a hole in them. Does not bother him. That does not bother our Sahib. For one who has walked barefoot, even shoes with a hole is a dream come true. A boy who has walked, barefoot all his life, for him, even a shoes with a hole is a dream come true. Yes, a dream realized. So he dreamed to wear a pair of shoes. Though it is old, he doesn't mind. Doesn't matter. He is wearing a pair of shoes now. That was impossible for him to buy with his own money. Yes, it is a dream come true. But the game he is watching so intently is out of his reach. He is watching so intently, anxiously. It is beyond or out of his reach. You can find that some children of rich families gather together and they will have a sports kit and they play cricket. Some rag pickers on the roadside might watch it intently, anxiously. Can they ever become a cricket player? No, is it not so? Cricket is a game of rich people in a way, because that sports kit itself will cost thousands. Okay, now those who cannot eat 3 times a day, even once a day, his stomach full, how can he imagine to become a cricket player? Impossible. There are some miracles in some cases, okay, now showing his talent. Somebody might have adopted him or paid him or sponsored him. It happens very, very, very rarely. Okay, now yes, the game he was watching so intently is beyond his reach or out of his reach. He can never become a tennis player. The important part of our Sahib story, next paragraph, take care. What is it? This morning, today morning, Sahib is on his way to the milk booth. He was going to a milk booth. In his hand is a steel canister. Yes, that is a vessel carrying steel, that is cylindrical shape you might have seen. In tea shop it will be there. From there tea is being given to you. Tea canister, okay. A tea container, cylindrical size, you might have seen that. Yes, I now work in a tea stall down the road, he says. He told me that now he is working. He was working in a tea stall. Yes, pointing in the distance, pointing towards the distance, he told me that he was working in a tea stall. I am paid 800 rupees per month. See, 800 per month, not per day. Okay, na? Which means less than 30 rupees per day. Yes. And all my meals. More important is that meals will be given. Tea stall, no, not badakan or something. Something will be given, eatable item. Enough. Something is better than nothing. Something is better than nothing. Yes. See, does he like the job? Imagine. Do you think that our Sahib does like or likes the job? Can you say? Doubtful. I asked him, do you like this job? His face, I see, has lost the carefree look. Yes, when I asked the question, do you like this job? His face lost his carefree look. Free look. Happiness lost, because you cannot say that he was happy in doing a job under someone else, because he was free till now. Why? The tea canister seems heavier than the plastic bag he would carry so lightly over his shoulders. Okay, over his shoulder. Okay, not really weight that matters, but metaphorically it is told. It is not a weight alone. See, until then he was his own master. Now he must carry somebody's canister, somebody's things, and he has become a servant. See the next line? The bag was his. The plastic bag or a sack he was carrying over his shoulders, or his shoulder, was his bag. And the things collected, they were his. It belonged to him. He was the owner in a way. He earned a meager amount, that is a different thing. But he was the master of himself. Yes, the canister belongs to a man who owns the tea shop. It belongs to the owner of the tea shop. Sahib is no longer his own master. In a way, he is no more his own master. Though he got a job in a tea stall, we cannot say that Sahib is happy, because the tea canister was heavier in every sense. In the sense that until then he was his own master, which he is no more. Because he has to work for someone else, the owner of the tea stall, he would order him and take it from here to there and serve it there. Yes, sir. Wash and clean these vessels. Yes, sir. As he carry this from this place. Yes, sir. He just becomes a servant for somebody else just for rupees 800. Though he got a job for a meager amount, we cannot say Sahib is at present happy. Because until then he was his own master. He enjoyed the freedom. Though he earned little, he was happy at searching things in garbage and finding something valuable. He was going on searching, but now he is no more his own master. Yes, we cannot say that Sahib is happy. We cannot say he is a happy man. Next part of the story. I want to drive a car. Mukesh insists on being his own master. See, instead of becoming a servant to someone else, Mr. Mukesh, Sahib's story we have seen. He wants to become his own master. I will be a motor mechanic, he announces. According to him, he doesn't like to work under somebody else. I want to become a motor mechanic. Yes, do you know anything about cars? I asked him. Mr. Mukesh, do you know anything about cars? I will learn to drive a car. No worry, no problem. I will learn to drive a car. He answers, looking straight into my eyes. His dream looms like a mirage. Means illusion. It's a dream. His dream seems to be like a mirage. That means an illusion. See, amidst the dust-torn streets that fill his own town, Firozabad. It's something illusion, not reality. It's not possible. I don't think he would ever become a motor mechanic, a rat picker. Famous for his bangles. Firozabad is famous for bangles, making bangles. Every other family in Firozabad is engaged. See, Firozabad is a city near Agra. Okay, every other family, each and everyone is engaged in making bangles. That is the only profession, of the people of Firozabad. It is the center of India's glass blowing industry, where families have spent generations working around furnaces, welding glass, making bangles. For all the women in the land, it seems, for everyone, every woman in the land, only profession they knew, that is bangle making. Mukesh's family is among them. One among them is the family of Mukesh. None of them know that it is illegal for children like him to work in a glass furnaces. It is illegal for children to work, those who are under 18. Child labor. If caught, the owner also will be punished. With the high temperatures, furnaces in high temperatures, in dingy cells, means dirty cells, without air and light, without enough air and light. That is the law, if enforced, could get him and all those 20,000 children. Not one or two. 20,000 children there, Firozabad. Out of a hot furnaces where they slog their daylight hours. Slog means doing tedious, tiresome work, daylight hours, the dingy cells, often losing the brightness of their eyes. So as they work in dark rooms, the brightness of the eyes also will be lost after a few years. Mukesh's eyes beam as he volunteers to take me home. He was so happy. His eyes became bright. Sir, come sir. He was inviting me to take me to his home, which he proudly says is being rebuilt. He says, I have rebuilt my home. We walk down the stinking lanes, smelly lanes, narrow street with all the foul smell. Choked with the garbage. Everywhere garbage is there. No cleanliness. Okay. Past homes that remain hovels. That means small huts with crumbling walls and wobbly doors. Crumbling walls, mud walls. And wobbly means unsteady. Doors, not a strong room, not a strong house. Hut, mud walls, etc. and etc. You can imagine. No windows, crowded with the families of humans and animals coexisting in a primeval state. Yes, prehistoric time, human beings lived with animals. In such a way, animals and human beings living together. He stops at the door of one such house, bangs a wobbly iron door with his foot, knocks at the door with his foot because no calling bell, very old door wobbly, unsteady, it will break also, and pushes it open. We enter a half-built shack, means hut, half-built, half-constructed, not fully constructed. In one part of it, thatched with dead grass, thatched house, dead grass, is a firewood stove, over which sits a large vessel of sizzling spinach leaves. So, an edible plant. So, leaves are being boiled for their evening supper meals. On the ground, in a large aluminium platters, means a tray, big tray, are more chopped vegetables. Some vegetables are being chopped. Is being cut. Okay, a frail young woman is cooking the evening meal for the whole family. A frail is weak. A thin, weak lady is preparing evening meal for the entire family. Through eyes filled with smoke, she smiles. Full of smoke, the entire room is not so. There is no gas stove. She has to bend her head and sit and you see, then smoke would be coming into her eyes and water will be coming down. Yes, I mean, she smiles. She is the wife of Mukesh's elder brother. Not much older in years, she has begun to command respect as the Behu, daughter-in-law, Behu, you know. The daughter-in-law of the house, already in charge of 3 men. Her husband, Mukesh, and their father. She has taken care of her husband, that is Mukesh's brother, and Mukesh and their father. Yes, when the older man enters, she gently withdraws behind the broken wall and brings her veil closer to her face. Why? As custom demands, daughters-in-law must veil their faces before male elders. Cover their face before male elders. Only Behu. Is it not so? Daughters not. Yes, in a way, it is a kind of discrimination. So, no time to discuss that. Okay. So, she should hide her face before male elders. In this case, the elder is an impoverished bangle maker. Mukesh's brother. Impoverished means reduced to poverty. Yes, poverty, poor bangle maker. Despite long years of hard labor, in spite of working for many long years, working hard labor, first as a tailor, then as a bangle maker, he has failed to renovate a house, rebuild a house. He failed miserably to reconstruct that house, to make it very good. Send his 2 sons to school, he was unable to give education to his 2 children. All he has managed to do is to teach them what he knows. The only thing he was able to do, he was able to manage was teach what he knows to the children. What is that? The art of making bangles. That is the only thing he has achieved in his life. He taught what he was taught by his father, by his previous generation. So it is going on from generation to generation. So Mukesh's brother, it is being told. Okay, now, not about Mukesh. Mukesh wants to become a motor mechanic. We have just seen. So, all what he could achieve in life was to make his children learn the art of bangle making. It is his karam, his destiny. Karam is destiny, his fate. Says Mukesh's grandmother. Grandmother says, his fate. Yes, who has watched her own husband go blind with the dust from polishing the glass of bangles. Polishing. Husband became somewhat blind, not fully but partially blind. He is going to become fully blind gradually. Can a God-given lineage ever be broken? Yes, in the beginning we saw first part 1. So this tradition is not so. Exploits them. So they feel that it's an excuse for poverty. The tradition of making bangles. Okay, na? They think it is holy, God-given, and it must be carried on by the next generation. So they don't go for any other profession. They don't go for education. They don't want to go to school. They simply carry on doing the work of bangle making from generation to generation. So can this lineage? So he is a bangle maker. His father was, his grandfather was. So it should be carried on to next or coming generation. So grandmother says, can this lineage be broken? What's the lineage? Bangle making from generation to generation. Yes, God given lineage. See the line of bangle makers. He is a bangle maker. His father was a bangle maker. His grandfather was a bangle maker. So his sons also should be bangle makers. According to grandmother, this lineage cannot be broken. God-given profession. As I told in the first video, what's that? Division of labor. You see, enslaved the people of India for long centuries. Okay, she implies, born in the caste of bangle makers. They take it as a caste system. Bangle makers. They have seen nothing but bangles. In the house, in the yard, in the other house, in every other yard, every street in Firozabad, bangles, everywhere bangles. Bangles everywhere. Okay, na? But no money got. You see, water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. Yes. See, it is a poem. Okay, na? Not time to discuss, ancient mariner. Okay. In the house, in the yard, in the other house, every other yard, every street in Firozabad, you see bangles everywhere. Yes, spirals of bangles, sunny gold, paddy green, royal blue, pink, purple, every color, born out of the 7 colors of rainbow. All colors are there. Lie in mounds of unkempt yards, means not tidy, untidy yard, courtyard, are pylon, 4-wheeled handcarts pushed by young men along the narrow lanes of a shanty town, and in the dark hutments next to the lines of flames of flickering oil lamps sit boys and girls with their fathers and mothers. As children sit with their parents to make bangles. Welding pieces of colored glass into circles of bangles. Their eyes are more adjusted to the dark than to the light outside. Gradually, their eyes are adjusted to the dark than the light outside. In the room, it will be dark. That is why they often end up losing their eyesight before they become adults. They become blind, half blind and fully blind even before they become adults, because they spend long hours in the dark, dingy cells of their house. Savita, a young girl in a drab pink dress. Here comes Savita, a young girl, drab means covered, wearing a pink dress, sits alongside an elderly woman. She sits with an elderly woman, soldering a piece of glass, means joining, soldering, okay, you know the method of soldering. Piece of glass, as her hands move mechanically like the tongues of a machine, moving so fast this way, that way. See, I wonder if she knows the sanctity of the bangles she helps make. I wonder whether she knows sanctity of the bangles she helps make. It symbolizes an Indian woman's suhag or auspiciousness or holiness in marriage. It shows the auspiciousness or holiness of a woman in marriage. Yes, it will dawn on her suddenly one day when her head is draped with red veil. One day she will be made a bride. Her hands dyed red with henna. Hands will be colored with henna, and red bangles rolled on. To her wrists. See, on one fine morning, all the bangles would be she would be made to wear, and henna would be there on her hand. Her head will be covered, and she would become a bride. Yes, like the old woman beside her who became one many years ago. It goes on mechanically. Small girl she doesn't know what is life, what is the meaning of a wife, what is family life, no idea. She knows only bangle making. One fine morning, someone from the neighborhood would come, and he would become her husband and she his wife. Without knowing what is life, what is the world outside, no idea. Illiterate and ignorant also. She knows only one thing, bangle making, and she would be going on making bangles. Her husband also, they know nothing other than bangle making. Firozabad. Yes, ek waqt sir par khana bhi nahi khaya. Meaning is given here. What is that? She has not enjoyed even one full meal in her entire lifetime. A girl becoming a bride even without having a one full meal, her stomach full, even in her entire life, she is becoming a wife and continue the same business of bangle making. She has not eaten a full meal, a stomach full, even once in her life, entire life. That is what she has reaped. By the hard work, what she has reaped means no harvest reaping. The reward she got is only this one, bangle making, bangle making. Just to make both ends meet, she would get something to eat by the evening, that's all. No earning, you see, no reward. She has not eaten a full meal even in her entire life. Yes, her husband, an old man with a flowing beard, says, I know nothing except bangles. The husband says, I know nothing except bangles and bangle making. Yes, all I have done is make a house for the family to live in. All I am able to do, you see, I have done is I am able to. I have been able to make a roof above the head, though it is not strong. At least we have a house of our own. Yes, the cry of not having money to do anything except carry on the business of making bangles. Not even enough to eat rings in every home. Yes, they know only bangle making and not even getting money to eat 3 times a day. It is there in every home in that area, Firozabad. The young men echo the lament of their elders. Little has moved with time, it seems. Time passed by, years and years are rolling out, but nothing changes. Okay, it seems in Firozabad, years of mind-numbing toil have killed all initiative and ability to dream. They have no ability even to have a good dream also. Why not organize yourself into cooperative? You can organize yourself into cooperative societies. I ask them. I ask a group of young men who have fallen into the vicious circle of middlemen. Yes, there is always exploitation by middlemen. Even agriculture now. What happens? The farmers do not get the reward for their cultivation. So they may get maybe for kilograms 50 paise, 1 rupee for per kg, and you buy it from the market for 20 rupees, 30 rupees. The middleman will be there in between. They would pay the money in advance when they are in need of money, but the crop will be, there's the middlemen. Okay, now? And they sell at higher prices in the market. Same thing happens here. They are exploited. They are exploited. Exploitation is there in everywhere. Okay, trapped there, the middlemen trapped their fathers and forefathers. There are middlemen who exploit them. They trapped them, cheated them. Their fathers, forefathers. Even if we get organized, we are the ones who will be held up by the police. There will be police. We are not organized now. No association, no organization. We will be caught by the police for wrong cases and you will be punished, put in jail, put in prison. Oh, we don't want any of those things. We just want to sit here, make bangles everywhere. Okay, beaten and dragged into jail for doing something illegal. They would catch us and tell that we are doing something illegal. They say there is no leader among them. The real calamity, the tragedy is that there is no leader to organize these bangle makers. No one who could help them see things differently. Their fathers are as tired as they are. They are so tired. Their parents, they themselves are so tired. They are not able to organize themselves. They talk endlessly in a spiral that moves from poverty to apathy. Apathy means indifference, neglect. Poverty, one side, then indifference. What can I do? Everybody thinks like that. I am unable to do anything. If somebody does, I will accept, that's all. So, indifferent towards their problems. See, neglect, discard, disregard. That is why indifference, that is apathy. To greed and to injustice, all these things are there. They are, exploited by all these things. Listening to them, I see two distinct words. See, listening their words, I see two different words. One world, one of the family caught in a web of poverty. One world is the poor people's world of a family caught in a web of poverty, burdened by the stigma of caste. See, burdened by caste, our caste, bangle makers, we should continue it. One generation, next generation. So they think that's a holy thing. We should not break the lineage of bangle making. Okay, which they are born, in which they are born. The other vicious circle of sahukars, the middlemen. Another world of middlemen exploiting them. Sahukars, the policemen exploiting, and the keepers of law, the bureaucrats and the politicians. They are all exploiting these poor people, bangle makers of Firozabad. Together they have imposed the baggage on the child. Together all these exploiters, the policemen and middlemen, they have got a big bag of burden, big burden. They have imposed on the people, poor people of Firozabad. You see? Which they cannot put down. They carry from generation to generation. Okay, na? Their, baggage of exploitation, which they cannot put down. Okay, before he is aware, he accepts it as a natural, it as naturally as his father. See, without knowing it seriously, he accepts it just like his father. And he would go on doing same work, and he would carry on. He would teach his children to learn same thing, and they would continue from one generation to the next generation. And daring is not part of his growing up. Daring is challenging. No question of challenging. We are bangle makers, we should continue like that. No other profession is possible for us. So daring is challenging. It is not possible. It is not part of their growing up. They are made to grow obedient. Obey with a smile, whatever happens. Some children like that. They never think independently. Your mind should be free. You must think independently. Even if your elders say something, or teachers say something, or even parents say something, if you are sure that is wrong, you must object to it or should not follow it. For your conscience, you must think independently. Yes, but here in Firozabad, that challenge is not there. It's not part of their growing up. When I sense a flash of it in Mukesh, I find a spark of it, a flash of it in Mukesh when he says, I want to become a motor mechanic. I am cheered. I am happy to see at least a flash of it, a spark of it, a spark of fire in Mukesh when he says that I want to become a motor mechanic. I am happy, says the author. I want to be a motor mechanic, he says. He will go to a garage and learn repairing motor vehicles. But the garage is long way from his home. But the garage is not nearby, but miles to go, far away from his home. I will walk, he insists. No, I will walk, no problem. How much far away it is, no problem. I will go there on foot, I will walk. But not by walking, but on foot. Okay, do you also dream of flying a plane? I asked him. Do you have a dream of flying a plane? Why car alone? You can become a pilot to fly a plane. He is suddenly silent. He becomes suddenly silent. No, sir, he says. No. Staring at the ground, in his small murmur, there is an embarrassment that has not yet turned into regret. There is a surprise which he does not regret. Why? He is content to dream of cars. His dream, his ambition is, the limit of his dream is to become a car driver. Why? That he sees hurling down the streets of his town. Few aeroplanes fly over Firozabad in the remote area. Few means negative meaning. They have not seen even aeroplanes on top in the sky. Few aeroplanes fly over Firozabad. In that remote area, they have not seen aeroplanes that much. Maybe very rarely something, they might have heard some horrible sound. They looked, what is that? Maybe a miracle or something moving away, that's all. They are not familiar with aeroplanes and they have not dreamed, they don't dream to become a pilot. So, the limit of his dream, even dream, is to become a car driver or a motor mechanic. There is a pathetic condition of 20,000 or tens of thousands people, in Firozabad, and their pathetic condition. So, their childhood is stolen. Spring is lost. That's our story. Lost spring. And these people and these rag pickers, etc., their childhood is stolen. That's your story. Go through the video once again and let me know if there is any doubt remaining. I will really clarify all your doubts. So make your comments. I will answer all of your doubts and comments. Okay now? Thank you for watching. Meet you with another video. Goodbye.